Hello, I'm CJ Weyerleman. There are 4 million Muslims living in America today, but only one Muslim majority city in the entire country. And that's the city of Hamtramck, a city of 28,000 residents that's located within Greater Detroit. Now, the data I'm going to share with you about Hamtramck is information no mainstream media outlet is willing to tell, because it reveals how Muslim immigrants have transformed this once crime and violence-plagued city into one of the most livable cities in America today. This story has been deliberately kept hidden from you because a Muslim majority city within the United States is the sum total of every white nationalist's worst nightmare. This is the kind of story that makes right-wing Americans freak out over anti-Islamic conspiracies and Muslim immigration.
The fact is, Muslim immigration means more Islamic terrorism. It's just that simple.
Today, the city has become the center of political controversy, with both the left and right launching rhetorical attacks against Hamtramck, but for different reasons. You see, whereas right-wing Americans hate even the idea of a Muslim-majority city on US soil, the left, on the other hand, tend to welcome Muslim immigrants, but only if they practice so-called Rand Corporation-approved moderate Islam once they get here.
There's the people who want to be like, oh, they're going to bring Sharia law and all the women are going to be forced to cover and women aren't going to be able to drive anymore. All of those things, right?
Left-wing Americans are now weaponizing the LGBTQ movement to stigmatize Muslims in Hamtramck, after the city voted last month to ban the display of gay pride flags on city property, with some liberals likening Muslim families to white supremacists, which of course is totally nuts. Because here's the truth. The city not only voted to ban the gay pride flag on city buildings, but also any flag that doesn't belong to the city, state, or country. In other words, the move was about maintaining political neutrality in a country that's being literally torn apart by political divisiveness. Therefore, the new law has nothing to do with homophobia or whatever. It's about maintaining peace and serenity. What's really going on here is a desire to smear a Muslim-majority community that elected the country's first Muslim mayor and first entirely Muslim-majority government.
The city of Hamtramck puts a new face on representative government in America. For a century, it was a Polish-American enclave in Michigan, surrounded by the city of Detroit. Now, a wave of new immigrants from Yemen, Bangladesh, Pakistan has eroded the dominance of Warsaw. In 2013, the city became majority Muslim.
38% of Hamtramck's residents are of Yemeni descent and 25% of South Asian descent. This rapid demographic change has had a profoundly positive influence on the city's social well-being, as illustrated by the rapid drop in the city's crime rate since 2013, the year Hamtramck became a Muslim-majority city. Look at this chart here. In 2013, Hamtramck recorded 878 incidents of violent crime and 457 incidents of property crime. The following year, these numbers dropped significantly to 530 and 377 respectively. This equals almost a halving of the violent crime rate in a single year. And these numbers have continued to fall every year after that, with the property crime rate in the city now well below the national average. This is a success story like no other, providing further evidence for how Islam is transforming many broken American cities for the better. The city's change of fortune under a Muslim-majority government has not gone unnoticed by Islam haters among America's far right, who have not only organized anti-Islam protests, but also carried out a string of terror attacks against Muslims in the area, which has forced mosques to beef up security and even perform active shooter drills. The situation is the same in nearby Dearborn, Michigan, where Muslims comprise 45% of the population and have experienced an upward surge in anti-Muslim hate crimes in recent years from far-right extremists. But Muslims here have also come under rhetorical fire from the left, who have painted Michigan Muslims as vicious homophobes after Muslim and Christian parents protested against the county's decision to no longer notify parents when their children are reading from the school's approved selection of LGBTQ inclusive texts, and that no opt-outs would be tolerated. The media accuse these parents of being hateful bigots. All these parents want is a say over which sexually explicit texts their young children should be exposed to.
To the LGBT community, the majority of parents are not here to attack your right to exist in a free society. Criticism of age-inappropriate content is not criticism of the LGBT community.
As you can see, there's always more to a story than attention-grabbing headlines, particularly when Muslims are at the center of it. And we know this because violent crimes committed by Muslims are reported 357% more times in the media than the same crimes committed by non-Muslims. But were the media honest and truthful, then would report stories that show how Muslims are making America a better country by improving the communities in which they live. Muslims have not only transformed Hamtramck for the better, but also the rest of the United States, and the media should report this.